Hello there, today is 1791 and I'm going to continue work on the zombies from Zombicide and the fatties as well. For the walkers, I'm going to dry brush their legs and then I'm going to put the colour that I want for their jumpers to be, and then I will dry brush those later on once that's dry. For the fatties, I'm going to give them all a liberal dry brush for their suits, and then I'm going to start working on their details, such as the axes in their back, their belt buckles, and their shirts. I won't be doing any of the skin today. I'll do that tomorrow when I carry on with the walkers, and tomorrow that should be the first batch of 8 finished, or at least in a condition where I can just base them on Wednesday. For the walkers' jumpers, it's just going to be contrast and then a dry brush similar to what I did with their trousers. Once these walkers will be done, that'll be it then for all the walkers in the core set. So I'm looking forward to getting that out of the way. It'll just be the fatties, the runners and the abominations left after that, and obviously the heroes. So progress is pretty good so far with the fatties. It's just the skin left to do and some highlights on the axe, and they will be sorted. Tomorrow, however, I'll concentrate mostly on these walkers to make sure I can get all of them done together. Another package also arrived. It was the Supernatural Join the Hunt Pack 2. So that's Bobby and John Winchester and a couple other characters, I'm not entirely sure who. I got a little bored in the evening, so I thought I'd actually finish the Imperial Knight and get that out of the way using the airbrush that I unclogged on Sunday. So there we have that. That's also incredibly toxic green. Now I just need to work on the blue. I'm not sure if I'm going to spray the blue or if I'm going to paint the blue by hand. I'm going to see if I've got the correct blues to paint it using the airbrush first. Today is 1792 and I will be finishing off these Grandad zombies as well as these 4 fatties, and I'll start work on these 4 fatties and my first lot of runners. It's just the shirt and the skin that needs to be done today for these guys, as well as a few minor details like the hair. I also need to do the socks as well, but first things first, and I'll sort out their shirts. I completely forgot to get any footage of me painting the skin on the fatties. It's been a little of a hectic morning this morning, but with the new batch of fatties, I gave them all a liberal coat with different contrast paints ready for dry brushing tomorrow. And I also started work on the 4 runners as well, doing the same, but this time just for the jackets. Unfortunately, I ran out of time to complete the fatties and the other walkers, so I just need to do their hair and their bases and add the gore, which I will do tomorrow. But other than that, I'm quite happy with the way they've turned out. I think I also need to do the Grandad socks as well. That's not a problem, I'll do that first thing. As for the other fatties, they're going to get a nice dry brush, and I will probably be able to get the vast majority of these guys done tomorrow, along with most of these 4 runners as well. Today is 1793, and I'll be finishing off the fatties that I started at the beginning of the week, along with the last walkers. And I'll continue work on the second batch of fatties and the first batch of runners. The only thing left to do with the fatties is the hair. They're all going to get the same hair colour, and that's just going to be some grey with a wash of non-oil to make it a little bit sort of stand-outy. With the grandpa zombies, again, I just have to do the hair and also a slipper and some socks, and they'll be done and out of the way as well. While waiting for some washes to dry on the socks and the slippers, I thought I'd dry brush the fatties and the runners all ready for tomorrow's painting session. Once the washes are dry on the grandpa zombies, I started to do the base for all 8 of this first batch. It's just the usual light grey, then followed by a little bit of stippling and some drawn in cracks, and then painting the rim black. Once the base is dry, I'll then give each model a coat of varnish to help protect them in their boxes and for when they're being played with. And then finally, we'll have an out of focus shot of me putting on the blood and the gore of this first batch of 8 zombies. I'm very happy with the way the first lot have come out, and 8 in 3 days is quite good. Hopefully I can keep that pace up, and then I should be able to get the rest of the Zombicide stuff finished by the end of October. This next batch of fatties are mostly complete. It's just a few detailing and the skin, so I'll probably do that mostly tomorrow. As for the runners, there's a little bit more work to be done, but they're well under the way. They'll probably get finished Friday. Today is 1794, and my time management skills are not as good as I wanted them to be, but I got most of these fatties finished. I got a little bit more done on these 4 runners. I began work on the next batch of fatties alongside the next batch of runners. For the fatties, I painted the skin and the barbed wire that's wrapped around them. I also started the sign, so all that's left to do tomorrow is finish the sign and their hair and then base, and they'll be done. I only did a little bit of the runners today. I did sort of set up some of their shorts and some of their socks. I'll do the rest of these guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, this will be the focal point, I think. For the next batch of fatties, I did 1 white and 3 pink, so they look more like a ballet troupe. For the runners, they also all got a coat of contrast as well, ready for tomorrow, and I'll probably give them a dry brush. So that's the day done. As you can see, this batch of fatties will definitely be finished tomorrow, along with these 4 runners. And if I have enough time, these fatties and the next batch of runners will also get a nice dry brushing as well. Today is 1795. I'll get the fatties finished, as well as these runners. These fatties will get dry brushed ready for more work tomorrow. And unfortunately I won't have enough time to dry brush these guys as well, but I will have enough time to give this guy another coat of purple. I'll get the purple paint on this runner out of the way first, so then he's got plenty of time to dry, just in case I do have enough time to get some dry brushing in, but it's looking quite unlikely. Then I will finish these fatties' signs and their hair. After that, I'll paint the base of them just with Dawnstone Grey to prep them for tomorrow, so I can get all the bases done very quickly. The main focal point today was the runners. They had quite a lot of detailing to do. I had the skin, some boots and some shoes and some hair, so I knocked all that out today using the usual techniques that I've been using all the way through. And finally, I'll get these fatties out of the way and give them a nice dry brush ready for tomorrow. So these fatties are practically done. I just need to finish the base, varnish and gore. Same goes for these runners. These fatties don't need much work now. It's just the skin really and the hair, and they'll be done. And these runners are all prepped to be dry brushed, and then it's just the skin for these guys too. Today is 1796, and I'm going to be finishing these fatties bases along with the bases of the runners here and get those done and out of the way. I've only got about an hour today, so I'm just going to do a few details on these guys, and then I'll do the skin with these and the ballerina zombies tomorrow. As for the bases, it's the usual paint it grey, stipple some darker grey and some lighter grey onto the base, paint a few cracks on there, paint the rim, and then finally give it a wash. While the wash is drying, I'm going to dry brush the runners that I need to dry brush today. I'll also pick out some details on their tracksuits, as well as paint those shards of metal running through their bodies as well. Once I've done that and the wash is dry on the bases for the runners and the fatties, I'll add some varnish. And once the varnish is dry, I will then add some gore. I'm also going to add some Nurgle's rot to the mouths of the fatties to make it look like they've been drooling and to make it look extra gross. So there we are, that's another 4 fatties down, and the first 4 runners have also been completed. Tomorrow I will continue work on these guys, and I'll also continue on the ballerina fatties. Today is 1797, and I'm going to overestimate how long it's going to take to paint these fatties. I'm going to get these runners finished, get the last batch of fatties started, and the next lot of runners started as well. With the runners, there's not much left to do. It's just the matter of the skin, and they've got like 1 sandal on, so they're not going to take long at all. The fatties, on the other hand, I've got a lot of skin to paint. I've also got quite a few details that I need to paint as well, like pustules and pot marks and things like that. So sadly, I won't get these fatties finished, but they should be finished very quickly tomorrow. I'm just going to start with the shorts for the final batch of fatties. I'm not going to do anything more than that. This is literally just waiting for washes to dry on the other models. And I'll do the same for the runners as well. This is the perfect opportunity to make these fatties extra gross, so I'm going to use a green, a yellow, and a beige to make those disgusting pustules really pop. So here we are, not much left to do with the fatties, just a bit of vomit, that squiggly thing on the chest, I've no idea what that is, and the hair. These runners just need to be based and gored, and they're finished. And after I've finished off today's things, I will continue work on both these fatties and these runners and see how far I can get with those. I'm very, very, very happy with this week. We've got plenty done. We've got loads of zombies finished. We've got a few zombies that are pretty much finished. We've got some that are started. And of course, we've got that Imperial Knight. The main colours are now down. I just need to do the detailing and get all that metal finished, and that'll be done for the person I'm doing the commission. If you made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you want to subscribe and like the video. And hopefully I'll see you next week. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.